Good morning. My name is Timothy Hodges. I am a student at Liberty University, and this is my project on interpersonal communications, class HSCO508. I am coming to you this morning from my classroom at Soddy Daisy High School, where I teach JROTC. A little bit about me: I did 22 years in the United States Army active duty. When I retired, I wasn't sure where I was going to go. God chose a path for me and opened the door to allow me to be an educator, and I'm now in my 6th year teaching high school students. I chose to pursue my master's in human service communication because I wanted to better my students, be able to better my personal life, and simply just better myself academically. I will cue you with the word slide so that you can follow along as I give a brief presentation on interpersonal communications. Slide. My overarching goal is to focus on the quality of communication and the quality of life. Stewart speaks of this in his book. The direct link to interpersonal communication and the assumption that is a direct link to your life, I believe, is true. My goal of continued efforts in becoming a better communicator is both in my professional life and my personal life. Dr. James Lynch states, "As we all shall study after study reveals, that human dialogue not only affects our hearts significantly, but can even alter the biochemistry of individual tissues at the farthest extremities of the body. Since blood flows through every human tissue, your entire body is influenced by dialogue." Stewart states this. So if a person walks up and says Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday, or maybe you've won the lottery, you're going to be flushed with emotions that make you feel happy or good. However, if you were to be insulted, maybe receive a parking ticket from a police officer, or have something happen to you verbally bad, it in the same aspect will create emotions that will simply may ruin your day. Slide. There are 6 features of communication that I would like to explore with you this morning. Meaning is one of the words. Humans live in worlds of meaning, and communication is a process that we use to be able to speak to each other. No one person can control a communication event. Choice. Choice is all communication involves choices, some of which are actively considered and some seem almost automatic. The choices that communicators make reveal their ethical standards and commitments. You show me a person with no ethical standards and you'll show a person that does not communicate well. Culture. Culture and communication are intertwined. Ethnicity, gender, age, social class, and sexual orientation are features that always will affect communication and how others are affected by it. Slide. Identities is another word. Some of the most important meanings people make are constructed by identities. All communication involves negotiating identities or ourselves. This is followed by conversation. The most influential communication events are conversations. The most ordinary communication events are often the most significant. Mark Twain used to speak of this. Take a simple communication and it could be something important comes from it. I like how Stewart came up with the word nexting in his book. The most important single communication skill that he talks about is nexting. Whenever you face a communication challenge or problem, the most useful question you can ask yourself, what can I do to happen next? This is nexting. Slide. Some background behavioral blends, positive and negatives, that I'd like to speak about with me personally would be this. I can be directing or serving, however not as cautious or calculating. I could improve on this trait. Some people find me hard to read as I'm multi-motivated with an active and passive interest. I tend to think people may want to be in control or think I'm capable of being in control, and this could stem from my 22 years of military service. I've been told that I'm good with people and that I can be in a crowd or be alone as an individual. I probably should gather more information before making decisions of importance. This would be a trait flaw or a weakness. I don't make decisions that could hurt someone or cause anyone to be endangered. I might just need to take a little more time and gather a little more information. People expect me to be strong at times and decisive, but in the same aspect, I'm kind and supportive of others that I like to be involved with. Slides. I like to form several different aspects and perspectives. There are clear things to me, strong authoritative ways. I am weak in gathering information or digging deep into subjects. However, I do try to improve on this flaw. Even though I can lead, I tend to be an ideal follower because I was taught at an early age to lead, you must be able to follow. I feel comfortable when I communicate with other people, yet detailed instructions don't always grab my attention. I can identify with people who are sensitive and caring, and I like to be influencing a crowd when necessary. I should be more conscious and careful when solving problems. Overall, I feel capable to do most things or accomplish most tasks given to me. However, some people may feel that I'm a little incompetent, as my traits could cause conflicts with theirs. Regardless, my traits will show that most likely I will work and play well with others. If an opportunity should arise that no one is in charge, I'm definitely going to step up and make it happen. This is simply the way my personality is. I can't help but be involved, and I cannot help but to take action. Slide. Stewart uses the metaphor, inhaling and exhaling, to explain the receptive and expressive parts of communication. Inhaling combines two active processes of perceiving and listening. One of my barriers is eagerness. I always want to express my thoughts or my own conversation, regardless if it's good or bad. A lesson that I've learned is good communication is time is especially productive if it can master the art of silence before exhaling. I've learned this at home, especially being married. If my wife speaks to me, I've learned the hard lesson of be silent, catch up later. How many other people communicate or learn to strive to be better communicators is making the mistake of dominating a conversation. It's easy to do because we all love to be heard, and most of us love to speak and talk in a communication. Slide. Isolate, organize, and interfere. These are things that are important in communication because of sensory cues, such as loudness and emotional responses that affect the way we communicate. Selection is how we pay attention to those sensory cues, and organization helps you describe ways that you construct and impose those patterns. Interfering is a labeling way you go beyond, such as judging or concluding a conversation, up and above. Slide. Resources and strategies are important. Identify your target audience. There is no general public. Know who you're speaking to. Separate the difference if it's teachers, administrators, professionals, or maybe a PT group or a club. Focus on your objective. Consider why the issue is important to you and consider what it is you want to accomplish. Raise awareness and make sure you communicate what is specific to the issue. Slide. Be relevant. Relate to the issue that needs to be discussed or the individual or the group. Do not be personal and do not bring that effect of what is not needed. People tend to focus on issues that they are concerned about, not personal goals or needs. Articulate impact on how what is inhaled and exhaled and do so properly. Include some supporting points about what is needed to improve your communication skills. This is important. Slide. Be clear and concise. Pick your main point of conversation. Stay focused on that point and do your very best not to have distractions. Distractions can be fatal when you're trying to be effective in communication. Back up a conversation point with 2 or 3 facts that are data, that are true and not false. Provide personal examples, but not exaggerations. There's a difference in catching a large fish and catching 8 fish. Slide. Know your best communications tool. Establishing rapport works. It may be the best way to start a communication by walking up and simply smiling and saying, hello, how are you doing, and how's your day going? Bible study groups are good, as well as attending Toastmaster meetings can be effective in helping your communication skills. Slide. I will focus on an action plan, defining audiences that I'm communicating with and not unintentionally neglecting people. I want to change up my methods. I want to send a note to people, let them know they're doing well. Maybe a quick email appreciating something you've done, so that when I see you later, I'll be able to communicate more effectively. I want to attempt to manage verbal conflicts. I want to do this by being thick-skinned, not so sensitive to something I may not agree with. I want to focus spiritually by God's grace to be both a better communicator in my professional and personal life. And the biggest thing that I think we all can do, slow down, listen. Slide. In conclusion, I'd like to discuss something that's important to me as far as a biblical term. Psalm 37:30 states, the mouth of the righteous utters wisdom when it speaks with the tongues and speaks with justice. David was very wise and experienced when he became the king of Israel. He had gone through many challenges in his lifetime. He had killed Goliath as a young man, and he served King Saul, who later tried to kill him by hunting him down. The Bible says that he was a man after God's own heart. So King states, 1 Kings 14:8, that this is important because David knows from experience how a righteous person will speak. He explains that wisdom and justice will be spoken by someone who truly follows after God. Good communication skills can then be developed and experienced when our mouths are full of God's wisdom. With that, I'd like to conclude, and I'd like to thank you for this presentation. May you have a Merry Christmas, and God bless you.